Hello, you're welcome. In this video, we are going to carry out this analysis based on facts and statistics. We are going to find out who is going to win the 2027 presidential election in Anambra State. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Now, we are going to head over to this particular first category. Here, we have what the ballot box already said. And we are going to make reference to the 2023 presidential election result in Anambra State. Now, if you observe very well, we have this particular column here, and this is for Peter Obi. We have this one here. This is for Atiku, and we have this one here. This is for Tinubu. Remember, as at then, Peter Obi was in Labour Party, Atiku here was in PDP, and Tinubu still in APC. Now, we are going to consider this subcategory here. We have 2023 votes in Anambra State. Peter Obi scored 584,621 votes. Atiku of the PDP then scored 9,036 votes. And Tinubu of the APC scored 5,111 votes. Now, let's consider this other one here. 2023 share of valid votes in terms of percentages. Now we have Peter Obi, having scored this, had about 95.2% of the votes. Now Atiku had just 1.5% of the votes, and Tinubu had just 0.83% of the votes. Now let's consider this one here. 2023 local governments won out of 2021. Now remember, we have 21 local governments in Anambra State. So Peter Obi was able to win the 21 out of 21 local government. He won in all the local governments in Anambra State. Atiku did not win anyone, and Tinubu did not also win anyone. So here's my final verdict. It is obvious that Peter Obi was dominant during the 2023 presidential election result, and obviously, based on this ballot box, based on what was done then, definitely he can repeat this feat again come 2027. So based on what the ballot box already said, that means this is repeatable. Now, here we have a collapse structure for Atiku because he has actually decamped from PDP to ADC. And you know that the ADC do not actually have structure in Anambra. So unlike when he was in PDP. So that's why we have this collapse structure right here. Now, non-factor. Remember, APC have been struggling to win the Southeast, and definitely that will actually persist still in 2027 rather. Now, let's head over to this particular one here. We have party structure on the ground. Party structure on the ground. This is the second category that we are going to consider. Party structure on the ground. What do they have on ground? Right now, remember the first column here is for Peter Obi, this one is for Atiku, and this is for Tinubu. Now we have grassroots presence in Anambra, 21 local government. Remember, we have 21 local government in Anambra State. So what are the grassroots? As in, do they have the grassroots presence? That's what we are going to find out. Now Peter Obi won 21 out of 21. That means he won in all the 21 local governments. That means he has network already. And based on the fact that we have this obedience movement, so they're still intact. So the network is here intact. Now, as for Atiku, remember, he had just 9,036 votes, and he has left the party that gave him this particular vote. He's now in ADC. And ADC is just a new party, so the structure is not really there. So it's going to find it difficult to even get this amount of votes based on the current structure on ground. Now, as for Tinubu, remember that in Anambra State, there's no current senator from APC that is in APC right now. There's no current senator that's in APC. So he does not really have people that can mobilize the grassroots for him in Anambra State. So that's why we have 0 right here. Now we have party structure and political backing. Definitely, Peter Obi has a very strong party structure and political backing because remember, even though he has moved to a new party, the NDC, but the people of Anambra, they are not just voting for the party, rather they are voting for the individual. So it's rather Peter Obi that some people are voting for, not the party, not the NDC. So that's why they say that the people there, they are loyal to the person and not the party. So he has a very strong party structure and political backing. Now, as for Atiku, remember, he has left the PDP that gave him the platform. So the party structure here is weak. In fact, it's getting weaker. And for Tinubu, very weak party structure. APC has no governor or Senate seat. So it has a very weak party structure. Now, let's go to ground game reality. He has a very strong ground game based on he has relationship with youth, support, and active network. So that has given him an edge over others. So remember, as for Atiku here, the ground game has been dismantled. He has left the party that had a bit of structure that was in PDP. So he has actually been dismantled. So now he's in a new party and they're trying to find their feet. Now, as for Tinubu, that never actually existed. So no structure, no control, no political base. So my final verdict right now is Peter Obi, in terms of this party structure on the ground, he's the strongest by far. By far. He has proven it already and he's going to do it again come 2027. So this is the strongest by far. Now, as for Atiku, weak and uncertain. Structure gone because he has moved from the party, the PDP, that gave him that leverage. So party and structure gone, political backing missing, and no real presence. No real presence at all. Now, as for the APC here, for Tinubu, no chance, no structure, no base, no connection with the people. Remember, the Southeasterners, I feel they are going to find it difficult to vote for APC again due to the economic pressure and everything. So he has no chance at all. Now let's consider this final category here, which is who carries the economist weight. Who carries the economist weight? Very, very important. Now let's consider the economic style. Remember, this is for Peter Obi, this is for Atiku, and this is for Tinubu. Now, the economic style of each of these presidential candidates. Look at it here. As for Peter Obi, remember, we know Peter Obi is such a frugal individual. He doesn't really spend money unnecessarily. So known for fiscal discipline as Anambra governor. So he's someone that is prudent. He doesn't really spend money anyhow. Now, also, as for Atiku, he is a billionaire, business mogul, but he doesn't really have that relationship with traders. So he's perceived as detached from traders. So that is for that, though he's a business mogul. Now, as for Tinubu, because of the high cost of things, the inflation, fuel price at some point rose to about 1,600 per liter. So this will actually act against him. So petrol price, post-subsidy removal, his policy, and this, they are going to use this to judge him. Understand? So that is to his disadvantage. Now, connection or connect with traders. Peter Obi, as we all know, normally say that he's a trader. He's actually a trader. So he has that relationship with traders, background as businessman, resonate with Anambra traders. So because of that background, and he's actually a trader, so they see him as one of them. The people see him as one of them. So that is actually to his advantage. And as for ADC, Atiku right now, he left PDP. So when he left PDP, the people actually, that particular move affected the people economically, if you look at it very closely. That particular movement has actually weakened the party structure and actually caused instability to some extent. So that is to his disadvantage. Now, as for Tinubu, he is going to be judged by what is actually happening right now in the economy. So right now, dollar rate is At some point, it got to 1,700 naira. So it's going to be judged by what is actually happening right now. So that is to his disadvantage. So accountability factor. Now, Peter Obi is in an opposition party and also is not actually in power. So he carries zero blame for economic hardship. He doesn't have any blame at all. No one is going to blame him for something that is happening. So he's actually exempted for a lot of things. The same thing with Atiku here. So Atiku has gotten some points here. The same thing with Peter Obi. But as for the APC, the incumbent, so he's going to be judged by what people are facing right now. He's going to be judged by what people are facing right now. So the inflation, the fuel, the transport, everything is going to be judged by what people are facing. And by that, going by that, is going to have, in fact, a lesser number of votes compared to what he had in 2023. Now, 2023 evidence, if you compare to what happened in 2023, as at then, 2023, as at then, a price of fuel was not up to 1,600. So, with what is happening now, you are going to be very sure that Tinubu will even find it difficult to get this 0.83% of the vote that he had in 2023, because people are going to use the current realities to judge him, and they're going to judge him harshly. So, as for Atiku here, he might actually be within this range again. So, at this particular point, I believe that Peter Obi will win in Anambra massively, and the range will be between 95% to 99%. In fact, he's going to get more votes than what he had in 2023 presidential election. So that's my final take based on this. So that's it. Thank you and goodbye.